How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando. It's Monday, October the 16th, 8:40 p.m. Thank you so much for being live. To anybody that's listening, thank you so much for your support as well. Make sure you drop us a thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the more of the algorithm will recommend us here in the YouTube sphere. So thank you so much for your support. We're previewing the last match of Orlando City in the regular season. We already know that the Lions clinched playoff second, and there's been talks about when's this playoff gonna be, and I think the date's already been announced by my fellow colleague Alonso Contreras. We'll put his tweet in just a second. It's on a Monday, guys. It seems like, it's the day before Halloween. People, families getting ready to, get that candy. Me having a young daughter, having all of that. It's been surprising for me. We'll discuss in just a little bit. We'll talk about some Toronto FC today as well, because this is our next rival. Is Oscar gonna try maybe some of the subs? Is he gonna go all in? My understanding is that he's going all in with a starting squad. That's what I've been told. I also want to make a quick give a thank you to the club. So I did receive today at home this package, right? And inside, I wanted to do the unboxing real quick. Was this delicious original blend Dunkin' Donuts coffee? Yes. And then right here with this, I had the coolest sticker you could ever find. Orlando runs on Dunkin'. There you go. And I want to give the club thanks for definitely thinking of me. And also, obviously, make sure they told me, make sure you vote. So here at LPO, we're going to vote. We're going to vote for the cast, our votes for Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Defender of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, MVP, Goalkeeper of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, and Audi Gold's Drive Progress Impact Award presented by MLS Works. We're going to be voting, guys. So thank you so much to the club for this really nice present. I really wasn't expecting it, but it goes well together. Look, I think this should be an Orlando City edition coffee. I think it will sell out. It's just a thought, you know what I mean? But thank you so much to the club for that. Definitely amazing that they're doing that to the media, and thank you again. Paola, John, how are you? How are you guys? Paola, how are you?
I'm doing good. Happy that we're back. Yesterday I went to the Pride game. Probably we're gonna talk about it later, but um it was a nervous game. You can ask John how was I was. But I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be back and happy to talk about Orlando City.
Fantastic. John, how are you, my friend?
Good, yeah. I'm enjoying this cooler weather. Got the
All
window
right.
open. Like there you go. Look at that. I got my Orlando City, any
Jacket.
excuse to whip out the Orlando City old, team jackets. Love these. These are so nice. So yeah, with a little bit of fall going on here in Florida. Sad that the Pride didn't make it into the playoff last night. We had a good time at the game, Paula and I and our other halves. But all in all, it's good, man. Excited for Toronto and looking forward to playoffs and what may come in this fall period of playoffs and Halloween and spooky season. Well, hopefully lots of goals too. Let's call it like spooky goal season. I feel like that should be the theme, pumpkins and goals.
Pumpkin.
That's what I want from this
Right.
season.
Or maybe Duncan should work on a new flavor of coffee.
Right? Like, can we have the
Like a
pumpkin
purple.
gold latte or something like
Yeah,
that?
like a purple blend or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
we need something themed for this time of year, coffee wise, please, Duncan.
So let's start with a 1-2 punch here. Alonso Contreras 9 hours ago put on Twitter, per sources, First home match could be October the 30th at Exploria. Now, it's funny how this happened because this happened when I was walking with him. So I can confirm that we both heard the same info, and he just went and put it out. Like I said, I'm not a Twitter guy, but definitely it's his info for sure. We both heard it. One of the what happened was we were just in the press room, and somebody said, "Well, we'll see you on the 30th." So, that's exactly what happened. So, you know, it's nothing with Alonso. He does his job. This is our job, guys. You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do. So, but I can confirm that this is probably what's going to be right here, October 30th. Now, my thoughts is this day before Halloween, guys. The league could do a little better showcasing these playoffs. I mean, you can't just have it on a day that a lot of people are going to be, with the shopping and the last minute and the candy. Because I usually that's what I do. I like to, I save a little money, buying on the last minute because some of the places trying to get rid of the candy that they're gonna sell after the 31st. So they're like, there's last minute, sales. And so I like to do that. And so now I won't be able probably to be able to do this, just to enjoy the 31st with my young 6-year-old now daughter. It was her birthday this weekend. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, Paola? The 30th. What do you think about that?
I thought that it was gonna be in a weekend. Like we're in second place. Like
Exactly.
treat that to, I don't know, Columbus against New England for fourth seed, but we're second. Like that doesn't make any sense for us. I thought that it was gonna be in the 28 or 29, probably Saturday or Sunday, but I don't know what made that decision by the league, the criteria, but it's kind of odd in a Monday for our place to be, like if we were lower, okay, that's fine Monday, but dude, we're second place. Come on. So I don't know if you agree or not, but I think it's just not good. I don't know. I'm
What
gonna
about
go
you, John?
regardless, but
No, of course. I mean, and I encourage everybody to be the sold out Monday ever in history of the club. And look, Orlando's playing on a Monday. Even if they're playing on any day of the week, they gotta be, it has to sell out. So, what are your thoughts, John, regarding the 30th of October?
I think what's happening is if you like, I just sent you
Yeah, I know.
something, Luis. If you take a look at that, they kind of sent out this playoff calendar on Twitter, and from the way I'm reading it, it looks to me like they're gonna do like some World Cup style here, where
Jesus Christ.
I don't think this is like, hey, it might land in these dates. I think this is like there's a game happening every one of these dates. I mean, like obviously not in the later stages, but in that first period, you think about how many games we have, right? Because it's 3 games, and you've got what on each side. You've got on the east side, there's I want to say 4 games going on in this stage of the round 1 on the east side, and 4 games going on the west side, and then that's 3 matches per matchup. So I feel like they're trying to do this World Cup style where we're having games like every day, and I think that's why we're on a Monday the 30th. I mean, I might be completely wrong. I might be shooting in the wind here. This might be ridiculous, but I mean, it makes sense. But I think the way they're trying to monetize MLS more now is like instead of they're trying to make the playoffs more of like a like it would be in basketball or football, and they don't want to be putting games over each other. That might be the vibe. And spreading everybody out. I mean, we're gonna have to play 3 games, so if we're playing on the 30th, then assuming we'd be playing on the 6th again, right? Like, so we got
Yeah, every
Monday and
Monday.
we're playing a game like it's 3 in a week, or are we like, how is this working? Like, what's the deal with this 3 games between that period, right? So that's a question mark. And then after that, with MLS Cup being on December 9th, I would assume if we get that far, then maybe we're playing on the 3rd or the second or the 3rd. I don't
It
know.
has to be the 3rd. Monday, don't you think? Sunday night. Definitely no one in Orlando is going to work on Monday if Orlando wins the
I'm
cup.
gonna take it off since now. Let
I
me
feel
get
like
a screenshot of this calendar.
that period there from the 3rd to the 9th has to be, obviously, that's like the white on this like image you're seeing is nothing's happening, right? That's dead
Yeah,
time
there's
for
nothing
sure.
happening.
So the last game would be like a semifinal, would be on the 2nd and the 3rd. I feel like the conference finals, as it were.
Correct.
The
The
Eastern
conference
Conference
finals.
Final, the Western Conference Final, 2nd and 3rd, and then MLS Cup the 9th. So working by that logic, but the round 1 section with so many games and so many teams, I think it's going to be like, I think that's what they're planning. And that's why we're on a Monday with our first game. And then maybe even our second game, like I said, it could be another Monday with the 6th, right?
Look,
so trying to plan this is frustrating. I just wish MLS would ahead of time be like, these are the dates of these matches. It doesn't matter who is in the match. Like these are the seeded when they would play. It frustrates me that they wait so long and give you only a little bit of information about this kind of stuff. I just want to be able to
or
plan.
they would have made it interested and just be like, if you really want to, you want to be the league that looks at this and says, well, I'm not going to favor anyone. So you have your bracket ready, and each game you just do the a random picking selection on which day those games will go. Now, in a way, don't you think that Orlando having Monday, they have literally a whole few days to look at the opponent and to kind of plan out tactically a little better just because they got the first game?
I mean, are we sure that we're the first game or
I don't know. I'm
Cincinnati's
just
going
saying.
first?
I mean, we're one of the.
No, I don't think
no,
we're
we're
the
not. We're
first
like
game. That's why I'm saying, like, I think the games start on
On the
the
28th.
28th,
28th,
and
yeah.
we're like the 3rd day of
Yeah.
MLS playoff games. Like, I think they're trying to run playoff games for, what is that, that's almost 2 weeks, right? So
So who are they giving the first
28th?
two?
I think Cincinnati
The
and
teams that
St.
have like
Louis.
so Cincinnati, St. Louis,
right,
And then us.
maybe because they wouldn't have played, right?
right. So
Because
Cincinnati, St. Louis, and then us.
obviously you can see very clearly where the wild cards are happening.
Right.
So then I think it's like wild card, day break, then a match every day. This is my prediction.
That's
Obviously,
interesting.
not like that in the semifinal and finals round. I think that's
Right,
obviously that you don't have that many games or teams.
Well, we
at
may
that
have
point.
a chance. We may have a chance.
Yeah,
if
but
that's the
up
case.
until for the round 1 section, I think so. It could well be the case.
Would you think that we will play Nashville in the same week, not a week after?
I think it's going to be
back to back.
I think it's going to be within a week, like you're doing in this case, a Monday, Thursday, Monday, maybe.
I don't know. I was thinking way
Usually it
worse.
would be
I
like
was
a
thinking,
Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, but that's apparently
listen,
not the
I was
case.
thinking like NBA type of thing. Like they play today, they rest tomorrow, they play again.
No, I think it'll still be like over a week.
Let's see. Hopefully.
I think that's crazy, Paula. I think that's crazy.
It
if they
is, but
do
you know how
that.
the MLS is. Let's
I think that's
plan
a
to
step too
fail
far.
Orlando.
Though. I think you've taken the soccerness you've taken it in too far of a direction in American playoff style. If you're playing every 2 days, like
Listen.
yeah, if Messi was in the playoffs, you'd break him if you try to make him play every 2 days.
Hopefully it stays that way. You never know how the MLS is.
But there's obviously a lot of games that need to be played in that period. That's why I'm like, well, unless they plan on playing them all over the top of each other, which they could do. But I think from what we've seen from them this year is they're really trying to monetize, the playoffs and everything that come with it. So I could feel like maybe they're going to spread them out a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, this could be definitely a maker.
This could be a completely crackpot idea, Luis, but
correct.
Yeah, that's
And
what I'm feeling. It could just be Saturday games, and this Monday is not true, and who knows? But
well,
we do know who knows. MLS knows, but we don't.
We have info regarding. TFC, Toronto FC. You had this guy ready to go. Apparently, I'm gonna go ahead and put the picture right now. This guy right here, great guy, by the way, Insigne. Super friendly, not very non-aggressive. Definitely a role model, right? For the Toronto community. He's expected to play against Orlando City. John Herdman is going to be the coach for Toronto. They are essentially they are expecting, a lot of the pundits expecting a win from Orlando City. They clearly declare that Orlando is the better team overall. They're expecting the Italian superstars to play this game as well. Bernardeschi, which they wrote this. I want to say hello to TFC Republic. That's the source. For Federico Bernardeschi, whose act of petulance saw him let off early in the second half with his team down by a pair of goals. It says here the club's image has a already damaged reputation. Also, Dunfield was in a very full spin mode when speaking to reporters after the game, trying to downplay the harm of the performance. And it says they are going to try to hold themselves accountable as a team. There's going to be no pass. They're going to try to run for the objective, which is to win against Orlando City. They're going to give their best. That's the word from TFC. They regard Orlando one of the top teams in the East. They regard Orlando as Facundo Torres leads Orlando with 14 goals a season. The rookie of the year, they're claiming that is Duncan Maguire, 11 goals. Martin Ojeda, 10 assists. Same with Mauricio Pereira. And obviously they're going to have Pedro Galese back from international break, they mentioned. So they are literally, look, to them, this is a way to just say sorry to their fans, in a way, because but they're not really mentally there. And there's going to be a lot of changes coming to TFC. A lot of these big name players are probably going to be rescinding some contracts. I see, for example, Insigne going back to Italy. This is just the way I see it. Maybe losing some money here and there. So they're going to bomb out, I believe. I mean, this is going to be a game in which Orlando should have it in the palm of their hand. Now, we've seen this about Orlando, in which we like to revive teams that are completely dead. So hopefully we're going onwards to the playoffs with a W. That's my expectation. I don't know what is yours, John?
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I mean they've lost their last 6, so I'll knock on wood. But outside of some kind of craziness, this is a win.
It's a must win. Oh, sorry, Luis.
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like it's not really a must win, but it's just like it's a win. It's happening. It's not a
It's
questionable.
happening.
It's a win.
Period.
Like they lost their like the Red Bulls put 3 past them last game. They lost the will to play. That's the way I see it. They've lost everything. The Italian experiment has failed. They threw all their eggs in this basket. Remember at the beginning of the season,
Of
we were
course.
talking about them and we were like, this is do or die. Well, they're dead.
Well, they're
And
dead.
now we're just going to go and kick a dead body for the last game of the season. I mean, that sounded really brutal, but it's kind of the case, right? It's, wooden spoon, nothing to play for, no life in them, just trying to figure it out for next year. And by the way, they got a lot to figure out. So the great mighty Toronto have fallen very far from where they were. If you think about it, what was it, 2018? Wow. Was that 5 years ago? Is that when they won? And now they're way down. I mean, then look at Cincy, where they've come from being bottom to top. So, we're at the top right now. We're up there. We got to make it count. This is our time. And
I believe
we got to push while we have our chance.
I believe Orlando has everything in their power to win this game. Every single now, you have to also understand. In my opinion, this is a game in which Oscar could treat this as a friendly game. I mean, not completely as a friendly game with low intensity. What I'm trying to say is, you want to make tactical changes. Maybe you want to maybe see what Kibo is gonna give you. What maybe of the bench, somebody like Holiday, how he will look being back. Maybe you want to start with just one, not the double pivot, but start with one and see how that goes. You want to try Facu at the 10. You want to try Facu as a striker. Like, honestly, like, this is a game in which Orlando can definitely try to keep the same players and maybe start with a starting squad and then start making changes with people that maybe have not gotten the chance to show what they can do, and maybe they could be that ace of spades on the deck of cards that you can just take out and win the whole thing, like of a set piece, of a shot from distance, like especially in the defense. I believe like maybe Kibu, maybe like Abdi Salim, that he's captain of Somalia on the national team. You know what I mean? Like, we need to see, I feel, more of these players in case someone goes down. I mean, Antonio Carlos just came back from a really tough injury again, second year straight. Robin Jensen, you don't want to burn him out, right? We're about to start playoffs. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts regarding that, John?
I think yes and no. I agree that we should give guys a chance. I also think that doing it too much and for the sake of doing it is, I want to win this game comfortably. I want to give the boys confidence. Like, we haven't played because of this international break. Like, we need to look at this game as like a warm-up game in some ways for the playoffs, but also we need to be able to keep the intensity up, and we need to keep the rhythm up that we're doing so well. So I would be afraid of making too many changes and just not being able to perform as well, and just not being able to go into the playoffs with that amount of confidence. Like, I want to put 3 or 4 past Toronto and go ready to play Nashville, like firing on all cylinders. So I think definitely Antonio Carlos needs to play 90 minutes for this game. There's no reason why he shouldn't play 90 minutes. I think if he doesn't, then that's a big indication that we might not be seeing him as much in the playoffs as we think we will. It's sort of like this is the game to bring him in and play him. So I want to see that happen. I think also maybe like Gaston Gonzalez might see some minutes. I don't know if, again, like, do you really want to start Gaston? Is that something that we need to do? Maybe just bring him off the bench for this game. I think maybe an argument is there to start Jack Lynn with Duncan McGuire away. I think that's another one. Could definitely see that. I agree with playing some of these youth guys, Luis. I just not so much in defense. Like Abdi and Kibu, I think the time has passed for them. I think now we're in the playoffs. If we have a problem at center back, I think it's more likely that Oscar puts Kyle Smith there than he is going to call upon one of these guys. And maybe that's the right thing to do, because if you look at the OCB, in the playoff game, they didn't do so well. So maybe, the youth defender is not what you need in the playoffs. I think definitely guys like Jack Lynn could be an asset in the playoffs. So let's give him a game in Toronto, whether it's starting or coming off the bench. Definitely some minutes for him. But also, let's keep Facu ticking, make sure he's getting a goal. Let's keep, Mauricio fit, give him at least 45 minutes to make sure that he's staying healthy. Arguably, maybe Janssen needs rest, but like we said, we just had a week off. So he's had a week's rest. It's a difficult call. It depends how much Oscar's going to go for resting guys versus rotating guys versus making sure that everybody's, feeling match fit, right? That's sort of like, did you play a game last week? Are you going to play a game this week? Sort of match fit. And if you have guys who've had a week off last week and they don't play again this week, and then we're going into playoffs, it's almost like another week. So that's 3 weeks and they haven't played a match. Then you're in danger of losing that match fitness. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And that's why guys like Facu need a run out. Even if you were to rest them, they need to get some minutes for Toronto.
No, yeah, I agree with that completely. And I wasn't saying change your whole tactical structure. I was saying just see what other assets Orlando has on the bench that it may be some hidden gems right there, and try
like
to
Jack
see what
Lynn
it can
for
do.
sure.
Like
Could be a hidden asset.
Scoring so many goals. You know what I mean, in OCB we need to give him at least one half. You know what I mean? So
yeah, more than he just comes on for like 10 minutes in games, and he does a job even at that amount of time. Like, what happens if we give Jack Lynn more time? I want to see that.
Do you feel the same, Paola, regarding what we were talking about the lineup?
Yeah, I agree, and I agree that Gaston needs some minutes, and I agree with both. We need to see what are our options going into the playoff, who's fit, who's not fit, towards the people on the bench, right? So I think we're gonna see some changes for Saturday, but not 100%, because the mentality of Oscar, and he said it in, I don't know, in the last press or in the one before, that he's taking the next games as a playoff game. So he's not gonna change the entire starting 11. He's gonna start two or maybe two. Maybe we can see Smith instead of Dagger, right?
I could see Smith or Mikey getting a start.
Or Mikey.
What's his name? He played in Toronto.
Oh, Lucas Petrasso.
Luca Petrasso.
Or probably him.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
or maybe even like Junior instead of Wilder or Cesar, like one of them, just give them some minutes to develop time. Like Junior.
And I don't know if they are how you may call it, they can't play for Toronto because of the yellow cards accumulations. Cesar Araujo and Wilder Cartagena. They have 8 already. So I don't know after
they get reset, which is good. But yeah, I have to check. They might have to miss Toronto.
Yeah, because after the 5th, you're suspended, and then 3 more, you get another suspension, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah. Alonso's saying maybe Petrasso. He's talking tomorrow in press conference. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, maybe Petrasso will be there.
Well, I mean, it might just be because it's his old club. Like that's always the storyline. So that might be why the press put him up. But it could also be that they're starting him.
Now, Alonso says Orlando should play with the MLS Pro team, the MLS Next Pro team.
Yeah, we don't know. They might be doing scrimmages with OCB guys behind closed doors. And was, Oscar was the kind of guy to keep their fitness up with doing that kind of stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah. So just to add some more info that we got on Toronto. So I think everyone here remembers the great story in CONCACAF, which was the Canadian team. a team that totally stunned the U.S. The U.S. with all the star-studded squad couldn't really do anything to Canada, Team Canada, last qualifiers for Qatar. And part of that was John Herdman, which is the new manager for Toronto FC. He left the Canadian national team in good terms. Obviously, after the World Cup exit, he took a little break, and now he's part of the Toronto FC family. He says, "This is the future I've dreamt of." He says, "This is the future I dreamt of. To one day be a professional club coach, working with players of the caliber of Lorenzo Insigne, Federico Bernardeschi, Sean Johnson, Michael Bradley, Jonathan Osorio on a daily basis. As I said to the boys after their first session, I've just realized the dream today." It's a big part of the shift from country to club. I'm going to try to do my best against this good team that's Orlando City. So this is gonna be his first game coaching against Orlando, right? And I know coaches that don't want to start on the losing end, right? Do you think this is gonna have some sort of impact to TFC? Do you think he's a good coach, John?
I think it's for next season. Yeah, I think they have to figure it out, and I think they rebuild. And that statement about is quite ironic because playing with Insigne and Bernardeschi and stuff. I don't think he's ever gonna coach those guys. I think they're gone after this game, right? Insigne is injured right now, So I believe that he will bring a Canadian core back to Toronto, which is probably why they brought him in, because he probably knows a lot of young Canadian players that would be very handy for them to bring in. And they need to rebuild. That's what they need to do, and this is the beginning of that. And I think it's a smart move for them. He's obviously a good coach, like you said. He did really well. He desired to go to a club instead of keep managing a national team. So I think it works for them. As far as Saturday, no, I think they don't stand a chance, I'm afraid, because look at their injury list. Sean Johnson's injured, Latif Blessing's injured, Greg Rogerson's injured. Remember him? Not that he would be playing anyway. And the list goes on. Diamande, they had, I think Bernardeschi's back now, but he was out for a while, but he's not really doing much. They don't have Richie Larrea anymore.
So the rumors,
it's just not, but Michael Bradley can't walk. Like, it's just there, or is he gone too? Did he follow his dad? I don't know.
No. He's still there.
He's still there. Okay. Well, we
He
have to deal
developed
with
an accent.
the bold alien one more time. Hopefully they get rid of him in the summer as well.
Yeah. So he says, the next dream that I have with this team is winning. The scars are still open. We've got to stitch that together. The reality of what they're dealing with, I feel them as people. I know the fans and the observers watching this, they just want more people out. This team has suffered a lot. It suffered quite a lot. With that, there's a lot of trauma they've experienced. Sports trauma, whether people believe it or not, it's real. The belief has sort of waned out the group. Typically, when you're not winning, the standards do drop. So, what people in Toronto are actually very happy about this hiring. They believe that this is going to be a Vanny 2.0 era, in which when they had Vanny in the team, Toronto always was a tough opponent, man, to face. It was one of the top teams in the MLS. So honestly, like, he had they want to bring another coach that will bring a winning culture, and he did that with the national team. That he's made people believe that Canada could do something important in the World Cup. And eventually didn't pan out their way, but they do have amazing players. So we'll see, but he's going to be starting his job with Orlando City. So, and I know for a fact, no coach, especially when they start, they want to go home with an L. They want to. So you're going to expect TFC playing as if this is a final, in my opinion. For their honor type of thing, right? And so Orlando also needs to like John was saying, we cannot just or like Alonso was saying, you're gonna just put the MLS Next Pro team to play against TFC. You know what I mean? There you go. There you go. So let's you want to start you want to talk some pride, or you want to do the starting 11, or the 11 that we're gonna pick for TFC?
We're gonna do Toronto, and then we can just finish up with Pride.
Okay, cool. So let's just do our starting 11 for what's coming up, which is TFC, and let's pull it up right here. Thank you to everyone that's watching. Appreciate you guys for watching the show and for supporting us. We're gonna try to still bring you some OCSC content, even postseason. We'll do some videos. Maybe have maybe we can react to an old Orlando City game. At some point. Those would be good ideas.
We could do a meetup somewhere. That would be fun.
That's right. We could do a meetup with the fans for sure. Drink a couple of brewskis. All right. So let me share my screen real quick. Thank you to everyone that's watching. So right here. So Galese. Now, Galese is going to be playing against Lionel Messi tomorrow. Peru plays and faces Argentina tomorrow at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Eastern time. And 10 o'clock Eastern time. My apologies. 10 o'clock Eastern. A tough game for Peru. They're playing at home. So right now, Peru is probably going to be without a coach very soon. So he may just have Oscar right there. So Galese up top. Who are going to be your back four, Paola?
Let's start with Smith.
Okay, you believe Smith is going to be. What do you think, John? Smith?
Are we talking Oscar or what we would like? Because these are two different questions. But I think Oscar's going to play Dagger Down again.
I think so too. But at the same time,
we could do ours first, and then we'll do Oscars.
Okay, let's do ours. I'm down for Smith. Yeah.
What about
I think
two
more
right
likely Holiday though, personally.
I forgot about Holiday. That's
Mikey's been coming on more for. If you notice, when he takes Dagger off, he brings Mikey on more likely than Smith. So I think if we're rotating, I think it's gonna be Mikey. He gets the right back start.
All right,
that was my bad. I forgot about Mikey.
No, you're good. Hey, we got 3 good right backs. We got 3 viable options there.
That's right.
From earlier in the season, we didn't have really any. So
do you remember when Kyle played center back?
Yep.
Yeah. See?
Oh, man. Because both Jansen and AC they were suspended.
Yeah. Jansen also, I think, is 1 away from yellow card accumulation, or he might be up there. So
he has 5, but he played against.
I think he didn't get one in the last game though, and he was good. So I think he's made it to the end of the season without having to take a suspension.
Gotcha.
All right, your center back duo.
I think AC and Jansen.
I believe so, because they need to be in the same page for the playoffs.
Yeah, me too. I think it's gonna be.
I think that's exactly right. It's like a get reacquainted with each other game. Remember how you guys play together game.
Yeah. And then you have on the left Luca Petrasso, I believe he may be, right? Or are you gonna go for Rafael Santos?
No, I think Petrasso could be it's that old, you play well against your old club thing, right? So
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would like Rafael Santos, but I mean,
Rafa, will definitely be the guy in the playoffs. So we're not questioning that. It's just a case of if you're rotating people for this game. And guys that could arguably be a part of the playoffs, right? Like we've seen Luca come off the bench
correct.
like more recently, so he could be doing that in the playoffs.
Now, we have the double pivot, right? In this case, are we going to see Cartagena and Araujo?
I think maybe Junior or Felipe. What do you get? I mean, I think more likely Junior than Felipe. What do you think?
I will go more with Urso than Felipe.
So we may see here Junior Urso, and
We need a
then
comeback from the
And maybe
El-
Cesar or Wilder gets a rest because he's been away with Peru.
so it'll be like this.
That's the other thing. Oscar might be inclined to give some of these guys who've been away on international duty a rest. Like maybe not Pedro, but potentially, Facu
Yeah,
or.
probably. I mean,
But also no. I
right
don't know.
now,
I'm spitballing ideas here.
so right now, from my understanding, is Cartagena seems he's going to be a starter for Peru. So they're depending on Cartagena and Messi have this thing going, and the coach of Peru has acknowledged that they have a thing going. He has expressed to coach that he wants to start, please, in this game against Argentina because he wants to help neutralize Lionel Messi again. That's what he said. I've done it in the club, and I want to do it now for country. So, so he's gonna have a tough game marking Messi. So I'm going towards your idea, John, that this probably this duo circa 2020 circa 2022, right? This was our starting circa 2022 duo, right? So, and then right in the mid, are we going to see Mauricio?
Yeah,
I think so.
because
Yeah.
who else
Yeah.
is also gonna? I mean, maybe Ojeda if you were really, but even then,
I will give Mauricio a rest. I want him,
yeah.
you
Who
know,
who would you put then if not Mauricio in our lineup
I
of,
would put.
Ojeda.
this
I would put Ojeda.
possible rotated lineup?
I mean, I would put Facu there if it was me, and I would have these three like they've been doing in the past few games rotate. Especially Ojeda and Facu. Ojeda seems to go more in the mid, so it will make more sense to put Ojeda in the middle. But also, I would like to see Facundo in a different role. Maybe if Mauricio goes down, we can maybe use him there too. I don't know.
I think if Mauricio goes down, it's more likely we see Ojeda there now.
So then we'll put Ojeda there.
Yeah.
I don't think Fak was gonna play on Saturday, to be honest.
It
Because
could be
he's
more. That's what I was
he's
going to
also
say. I
gonna
think
be playing.
actually it's more likely Mauricio plays, Ojeda's on the right wing, and Facu is the one that gets rest because of the fact that he's been away.
Now, Uruguay is going to play Brazil in Montevideo. It's like a very important game for Uruguay. I highly doubt, seeing how Bielsa has started his squad, highly doubt that Facundo is going to have any minutes against Brazil. Unless Uruguay is winning, is up 2-0, 3-0, and they just need fresh legs. At this point, we might see Facundo having some minutes against Brazil, but I believe that Brazil, after that weird last minute in the death draw against Venezuela, which Venezuela, man, no one gave 2 cents for Venezuela, dude. But Venezuela delivered big time. I'm so happy for them. With a bicycle kick right at the death, the whole place erupted. Historic because it gave Brazil its first draw after I think 10 years of playing in that place. Yeah, at home, and it's fantastic. So they're on a high, Venezuela, and Brazil is on a low, and they want to make Uruguay pay. If they can score 3 or 4 on Uruguay, they're gonna try to do so. And people were booing Neymar and everyone. That were in Brazil, they were clapping to the Venezuelan players. Standing ovation for them. So I believe we're not going to see Facu having any minutes. So I feel he'll be with a fresher legs, maybe just a little jet lag. I don't know. I feel he's going to play. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just in, a rotated idea. Maybe he's the one who gets rotated. It could be Ojeda. It could be anybody, But maybe here's Gaston's potential to start on the left wing. But
I will love to see Gaston and Ramiro in the wings just for a game.
Gaston, so you put Ramiro on the right wing, Gaston on the left, because Gaston kind of has to play left wing. Gaston, I don't think, can play on the right side. I don't think.
No, he needs to be in the left. Yeah, but Ramiro can play on the right.
I mean,
Ramiro,
we may see. We may see
right.
Gaston, and that was going to be my next question. I mean, I have a feeling that Gaston may have some minutes. I think it'll be good to see him starting in a game. And see what he can do. We know what Angulo can give us, right?
Exactly.
And we know Duncan's been away and, is away. So I think it's likely that maybe we see someone else up front.
Right.
And maybe it's Jacqueline. And I don't love Enrique as a striker, I got to say. So I would like to give Jacqueline minutes so that he has more time with the team. So when he can come off the bench and play striker instead of having to play Enrique as striker. I think Enrique does a lot more off the left wing.
I was gonna say, you see him more as a winger instead of a striker.
He's like an inside forward. He plays off the left wing with his right foot, cutting in on his right foot. That's what he does best for us. And I think when you play him as a sub, as a left winger, he is much more effective because he comes on and brings speed and creates problems. When as a striker, he just lacks a little bit of that physicality, which sometimes means that he can't win the ball in the box or he can't win the ball in the air. And we don't always adjust our play style for that. Like we're still putting in balls like from Rafa and Dagger Dan as if Enrique is going to be able to jump and beat the 6'5" center back, and it's just not going to happen, right? So if he's going to play striker, we got to play more through balls and play the ball on the ground. And I just think he's more effective for us off the left wing.
So I believe that when it comes to Jacqueline, I mean, I would love to see Jacqueline start. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I think in this system, it will be, I mean, we will have to play the whole 90 minutes tiki-taka style through the flanks and try to find him the open space, because if you're gonna throw through balls, he ain't gonna get one. He ain't gonna catch one because he's too short compared to like the center backs for Toronto. I mean, it's just my opinion. I mean, I feel like right now Mabika and Shane O'Neill, which are the ones who started against
He also got Michael Bradley in that line.
Yeah, they got Michael Bradley as a center back. That's disgusting.
Yo,
I just saw that.
Bad times for Toronto.
Never mind. Take it back.
This is why they don't have a chance. They have Michael Bradley.
If they have Michael Bradley as a center back,
the other one is a reject of Miami.
Yeah.
In that trade for
Well,
that trade. A different
Jack,
trade.
This is your chance, my boy. Your chance. Michael Bradley as a center back. Disgusting, man.
Times are bad.
Times are really bad.
I forgot about Shane O'Neill. I'm like, he's still playing.
Yeah. And they've got like their third string goalkeeper in because they had, 2 goalkeeper injuries. They bring in some people mid-season to try and figure it out. Like Ibarra and Osario are not bad in the middle of the park. I would say Gutierrez is okay, and look the left wing back sort of position. But
No, but let me tell you, Michael Bradley's been the center back for the past like 3 or 4 games for
yeah,
TFC. That's disgusting.
and look at on FootMob last game, his rating as a center back,
Yeah.
4.5.
Jack.
I think Jacqueline could do some
Jack.
bits
Let's
against
go for Jack. Let's go all for Jack.
And
Let's
by
go,
the way,
Jack.
that brings me
Jacqueline.
so much joy to watch Jacqueline, breaking Michael Bradley's ankle for a goal. Like that would be just a great moment.
So there you go.
Make that happen.
So this is our starting 11 against TFC. You got Galese up top, Holiday, Antonio Carlos, Jensen, Luca Petrasso. The double pivot, you got Cesar Araujo and Junior Urso. Martin Ojeda as your number 10. And then on the wings, you got Facundo Torres and Gaston Gonzalez. And then right up top, the striker, the number 9, the man of the hour, the man who's going to break Michael Bradley's ankles. He's going to do some nutmegs on him. Jack Lynn. There you go. We have to put a nickname to Jack Lynn if he starts scoring. I know that Duncan is the Holland of the Heartland. We had to find
Jack Golden Boot Lynn. That's his name.
Or Hook. Jack or Jack and Coke. But no, just kidding. Right? This is Alonso Linca. No trust for Williams.
Sadly, no.
I think he's not even.
Oscar has no trust for Williams or Kibu or anybody who isn't Schlegel or AC or Jensen. Like literally, we've seen none. If it wasn't one of those 3 and Kyle Smith filling in, we've not seen another center back, right? Oh, Abdi Salim, the very first few games, Abdi Salim did play.
Interesting.
Should we do the Oscar one really quick?
Yeah, let's do the Oscar one. So
I can tell you what the Oscar one is. You can guess what it is.
A copy and paste from the last formation.
Dagger.
Correct.
Yeah, Dagger Dan.
Oscar's policy.
And then right here, Rafa.
Which, hey, he's the coach, so he's, we're just experimenting with ideas. He's probably like, let's just do the same thing we did last time. Because it's working right now, Luis. You can't blame him for keeping the same lineup, But I would like to see at least, if that happens, then the subs like we talked about, like Gaston and Jacqueline and guys that could make a difference in the playoffs getting some minutes.
Duncan's not going to play because he's with the U.S., right?
Yeah, Duncan, no. So I think then, well, no, because he could be back, I think, right? I got to research that. Hold, please.
So we can put Duncan / Ramiro. And then right here, we're going to see what
Angulo.
There you go. Angulo and then Facu. There you go. I think this is the start. And then I believe, knowing Oscar, he's going to make the changes as he sees the game play out. And we may see Jack Lynn.
October 17th, tomorrow, they play against Japan. They played on Mexico on the 11th. So tomorrow they play in Phoenix against Japan, I believe. So look out for Duncan. And that he did play in the first game. He made a goal line save or clearance. If you guys saw the clip of that. So I believe he should be back. Unless for some reason he doesn't feel fit enough to get from Phoenix to Toronto.
So he should be back by then.
Yeah, these camps never say exactly when they end, but it's usually right after the second game, which is tomorrow. So I think we should be good.
So we'll put Duncan in, and
I think Dunk will be playing. And he might not even play tomorrow, right? Because it's training camp, So he played in the first game. So often in these things, if you play in one, you don't always play in the other. They might rotate, give one of these other forwards a chance. So if that's the case, then he'll definitely be fit enough to be playing on Saturday.
So this is the lineup that we believe Oscar Pareja is going to line up against Toronto FC. Galese up top, Dagger Dan, Antonio Carlos, and Robin Jensen, and Rafael Santos. The double pivot of Cesar Araujo and Wheeler Cartagena. Mauricio Pereira right at the 10. Then you have as your left winger, Ivan Angulo. On your right winger, Facundo Torres. And right up top, your number 9, your rookie of the year, I will say, MLS rookie of the year, Duncan Maguire, the Helen of the Heartland.
I was joking about the repeat, but it's actually not the same because AC is in there for Schlegel, which I think Oscar, if he wants to play him in the playoffs, this, like we said, this is the game.
Yeah, this is the game to try them together.
Yeah, he needs to be fit for
But
that. So
we're not it's been so long. Is there a chance, like we talked about this before, is there a chance that just doesn't happen and we just keep going with Schlegel? Like, does AC have to earn his way back in though?
No. I think he's a starter.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe
I hope so too. And so this game is, like we said, this is the one to do it.
Correct. So what's your score, John, for this game?
4-0.
4-0 Orlando? Oh man.
Yep.
All right. Duncan hat trick. Man.
I mean, New York Red Bulls just put 3 past them, so we should be able to do that and more.
Okay. What about you, Paula?
3-0. So I don't say the same thing as John.
Did you want a 4-0? Did we beat them 4-0 earlier in the year as well?
We did. I think it was 4-1, something like that.
Trash. They're trash, Louise.
I will say 6-0.
6-0? Okay.
Largest win of Orlando.
Now we're gonna lose this game or something. I'm knocking on wood. Everybody knock on wood because we're being too cocky now. This is what happens. I start to get worried when we start to get too much confidence. I'm like, no, we're testing fate.
I'm just
this
joking.
Is dangerous, but yeah,
No,
all signs all signs point to us just
6-0.
killing these guys.
6-0. Look, if it's 6-0, I'm gonna make a puppy insert.
A puppy insert.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a puppy insert.
6-0 that's an absolute spanking.
Yeah. So no, I'll say Orlando wins 2-0 at home. 2-0 at home.
Away, not
away. Sorry, away. Well, Toronto feels like home. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah, this 4-0 at their house for the 4-0 that we already gave them at home.
I think it's gonna be a 2-0 win. We'll probably see, Dagger scoring a goal again, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, he does like the cold weather. So
yeah. So this is how Orlando is gonna be playing out. In my opinion, I think it's going to be an important win for the Lions. So JCB's 95. We got to close out the season with a bang. 4-0 and 2 from Facu. There you go. That's the
Facu, Duncan. I can see that. Maybe another Angulo goal. Let's great if Angulo keeps scoring.
That's right. And we'll talk about, honestly, to me, one of the most successful seasons they've had in a long time. The Orlando Pride. I've been covering the team for 3 years now, and honestly, I've seen it all, and I think this is the best squad they've been able to build. You could feel there is a culture brewing. There's a strong culture for the Pride. Players that want to play for the badge, play for the club colors. That love the city, love the people, and they're all in, busting their butts, playing game in, game out. 8,504 was the largest crowd of the season for Orlando Pride. This couldn't be done with the help of the whole Orlando community. I would say Orlando community, Orlando soccer community coming together, right, to support the Orlando Pride. John, you were a big part of that. I want to commend you for that, as well as Miss Kay, and as well as Alonzo too, and everyone that played a little part on making this a reality. Now, um, we hope to see these type of numbers in the 2024 regular season. Hopefully, for the people that was the first time going, it feels like John was saying, right? Like more like personal, feel to the games, and more of like a MLS, USL Pro vibes in a way, right? When it comes to the games, and I believe also the club needs to maybe see what they can do to maybe add the Pride, to maybe for the season ticket holders to get some tickets here and there, right? I think it'd be a good opportunity, um, because it is good soccer. I mean, Carrie Abello, we'll talk about the girls, Julie Doyle, Callie Strom. Like, I mean, there's just, it is a team that is going to stay. And then I believe the next season, with the new additions that they've made, with Rafa and Adriana and all these players, they are going to definitely make an impact, in my opinion. This is a very competitive league, the NWSL. So let's read some. There's right here. Right, I got it right here. So let's show this. Yeah, you send me that picture. Let me take a screenshot of that. Paola, what were your thoughts from the beginning for this game? I know that it was your second Pride game, right? That you've been, first Pride game in the year, correct?
Yeah, first time in the year. It was a few years that I haven't been to a Pride game. I think it was 2018 last time, or 2019. The last time that I went to a Pride game, and yesterday was a magical game. I know that it was a hard one because w- I saw a lot of opportunities that they could score like minimum 3 goals in the first half, and John can say the same thing. We were like, shoot the ball, we were screaming, um, like they were supposed to be hearing us. But it was a good experience. I'm gonna continue supporting them because they deserve it. And they battled until the final minute, and that's what was heartbreaking for me, because I wanted them in the playoff. I was screaming at that penalty that Marta did in the 80th minute. I don't remember, 85, something like that. And then with the 8-minute extra time that we had, I was like, oh, I can see this possible. I can see a goal coming in. Um, I think the subs were an impact, but they were too late, in my opinion. I think Julie Doyle should have been sub way earlier, because she changed. We were having more possession with the ball, more attacking in that side. And I agree with you, Luis, what you said in the beginning of the pod, that your best player in the field, she was subbed out. That it was, I forgot, Team Rec.
Timrak, Erica
Team Rec. Yep.
Timrak.
I was confused too when I saw her leaving the game, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I thought that Bright was coming out, and Watt was coming in for Bright, but it wasn't like that. I don't know. I cannot put my opinions a lot in uh about the subs because I haven't watched the entire season, so Seb will know why he did those subs. But for me, they were a little bit late. I don't know if John agrees, but I saw more attacking plays with Doyle and with Watt in the front, helping Marta going forward. So I don't know, what do you think, John?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it was interesting that Messiah Bright got the start. I think the games where I've watched the Pride and they've looked better is when Adriana is playing up front and is a bit more of like a pacey striker instead of a big nine type. And so I was interested to see that happen. I don't think Messiah had the best game. I think it was right to sub her out maybe earlier and not Erica. So maybe that was, I agree with you there. Erica was having a really good game on the left hand side and just was creating and Martha was pulling all the strings on both her and Adriana. So Ali Watt was the right person to bring in, but I would like to have moved, Adriana up front at that point,
Forward, yeah.
and then taken off Messiah. Or like I said, even started her. And Julie Doyle, I agree. I think Luis, we talk a lot about when we've watched, the Pride, Julie being such a impactful player, and I think she does so well on that left hand side. She's great ball delivery into the box and just causes problems. Overall, there was chances in the first half that they just let go. Like Marta had an incredible run where she went past about 4 or 5 players and ended up in the box and just stumbled and couldn't get that last shot off needed to put it in the back of the net. And Messiah Bryant had a chance where she was put clean through on goal and just had a really poor touch and let it get away from her. And so those are the kind of chances that was in like the first 10, 20 minutes, all of that if you get those 2 goals, you're 2 up. And then in this situation they were in where it's such a tight table, you put yourself into the playoffs, even though the game isn't over, right? So then you're playing from a position of strength. What happened was we weren't able to do anything in the first half. We just couldn't get the finishing chance right. And then in the second half, when we were able to shoot, Campbell, who was in goal for them, was just having an incredible time as well. And the post was saving it. And it just, at one point, it went off one post and went across the entire goal and went off the other side, like off the other post. So it was just one of those games where it wasn't going in. And then finally we got a penalty where there should have been a penalty earlier in the game, but
The refs sucked.
We won't go into the refs in this one because we can always go into the refs. But we finally got a penalty, and then that was 1 goal, but it just wasn't enough. We're tied at this point on points, and we really need like 2 or 3 goals in this game. It could not have been the case. It's just the way that the dice fell, right? It's the way that it happened. We ended up needing 2 or 3 goals, and those 2 or 3 goals could have come in the first half when we didn't know we needed them. And then the second half, we definitely needed them, and we were kind of trailing. So a great win, 1-0, but ultimately, it felt like something was left on the table. Paula, did you kind of leave the game having felt like we could have done more?
Absolutely. It reminded me of Orlando City on 2019. Like we had chances.
Early Oscar days where we
had
2020
the system
but couldn't score.
Exactly. Like we had all these chances next to the net and we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And it was sad. It was just sad because I could see in their faces and in the entire game that they were trying. Like they were literally trying everything to put that ball between that net, and they couldn't. And it was just sad because of the outcome. We win, but we didn't win technically. So
to me, it is a huge sign of improvement for the Pride in the past 2 seasons because of what they've been able to find, which is a good coach, a good system, and good players. And I think they were this close. No one in the right mind thought that Angel City was going to score 5 goals to the Thorns with Crystal Dunn, and never in my wildest dreams I was giving that game to the Thorns. The Thorns are a better, way better team, mano a mano, man by women by women. They're the better team than Angel City. But oh no, like they said, here comes the pain. and they score 5. That affected tremendous the table in itself with goal difference. And despite the win, they were cut short because Gotham ended up tying with Kansas, and they had a high margin of goal difference than we did, and that's why they went through. Um, it was needed for them to score 2 or 3 more, but then the way the game was being carried away, Seb planned to win that game. And I think the subs came in too late. And in my opinion, I think Orlando, just like the men, great creating the play with Erica Timrak. She, to me, was the best player in the game, in my opinion. I know that the club named Marta, but to me, it was Erica Timrak in the first half, and then maybe Marta in the second. But Erica Timrak was amazing because she was making Carrie Abello and Adriana play really good. Adriana overcarried the ball too much, in my opinion. I feel like she kind of did the extra dribble, the extra touch, and she should have just crossed the ball and looked for Messiah. And I
See, I
think,
think that's why she's better as the striker, because she
right,
just wants to do it herself and so to
right.
just be the striker.
And Marta seemed a little frustrated with Messiah throughout the game.
And
I
we had
remember
21 shots, so he's 8 on target. So it wasn't like we weren't lacking for
Right.
shots. It just wasn't happening.
Right. So there was a play in which Marta's trying to connect with Messiah, and Messiah was not able to connect with her at all. And the ball just, pretty much she, instead of her going forward, she passed it back into possession. And Marta's like, hey, shoot. like, come on, dude, shoot. So, the Pride dominated the first half, dominated the second half, in my opinion. Houston almost surprises Orlando with a shot that hit the post at the end of the first half. And honestly, to me, the best 2 players in the game, the best 3, I will say, Erica Timrak, Haley McCutcheon play a phenomenal game. Amazing game. What a set of good wing backs now we have. We have a left and right with Haley and the former Arsenal player, I forgot her name, Rafa. So no, she was Man U, by the way, Man U. But I mean, Orlando's having these players that are, and Marta said it in the post press conference. They're playing now. We used to have big names. Now we're playing for the club. Now you can feel like there is a culture, like they're building something special here. And I believe that they're going to keep that going with Seb and Giles, that were a very important part of the beginning of Orlando City. Right, John?
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the home form as well, we're second in the table in home form. It's just in away form we're way down in 10th. So, they definitely brought some life back to Pride home games this season. That they were talking about how it's been one of the best seasons at home for Pride, in years. And I think they brought back the excitement. I think there's stability there. It's just a case of retaining the right players in the offseason and replacing the right players that need to be replaced. And hopefully we get another year out of Marta. Like, she still looks like she can go, to me. Like, you build the team around her now and under Seb's system and bring in the right pieces. I think next year it could be definitely a playoff year. So all positive. I think, didn't end the way they would like it to, but looking at improvement on last year, 100%. And just looking at the overall situation of the club and the direction it's heading in, right? And that's what you want as a team. You always want to be looking like you're going up and moving forward in the right direction. And year on year, Pride are showing that. And I think next year, I for sure think if we retain this team and Seb, then we can be a playoff team for sure.
Yeah, I believe that this whole squad's staying for next season, and they're there are talks of new additions, new exciting additions to the team. But the good thing is that this team has a core now. It didn't have a core before, and so now they have a core. They have a manager that loves the club, that is identified with club badge and collars. Someone that knows the system, how the club on the player level, with Giles and with Seb, they know Orlando City, and the same staff, the front office works within the club, so they're able to guide some of these young players a little better. And one thing that Seb said that has been the most important thing was Marta's leadership has improved. Marta now, in which before, and this is the way it seemed to me, okay? I'm just going to be completely honest. These are players that are no longer here, okay? By the way, some allowed. Please don't kill me, all right? But you could see clicks within the team. Some players would go with, with the goalkeeper, former goalkeeper of Orlando Pride. Some players would go with Marta. Some players would go, so there was like little clicks here and there, right? That's what it seems, And now it's all about soccer. Now it's all about tactics, soccer. Let's win. We're all together. We'll hang out together. We'll ride and die together, pretty much, right? So, and you see Marta talking with Summer Yates and talking to the Julie Doyles, and these are young, exciting players that had a great college career, and then now they're killing it. Some of them the first season in the NWSL. So I cannot wait. Just to end it, I cannot wait to see this team in 2024. And it's been, and with that being said, we wanted to do this year a Pride Pod. Then unfortunately we weren't able to do that because of time, and also because we couldn't find anyone that could join as a host. But things are going to be changing, so we're going to be revisiting that for next season. Scouts Honor, right? And we're definitely going to give the Pride the proper coverage it surely deserves. And I know for a fact next season they're probably going to make the playoffs easy. We're not going to be waiting on decision day biting our nails anymore. I think this team has what it takes to just cruise down playoffs. I mean, Julie, Erica Timrak. I mean, talking about high level players. Emily Madrill, right? So I asked Marta too. It was going to be your first 2024 preseason with your teammates from Brazil, right? How's that going to be? And she said, it's going to be great having them from the beginning, and I think this is going to benefit a lot of the current squad of the Pride. It's going to benefit a lot of the current squad of the Pride. So exciting times coming for the Pride. Super proud about what the city was able to accomplish, bringing 85,000 souls, largest crowd of the season. So definitely exciting stuff. John, anything else you want to add regarding Orlando Pride, or anything you want to say before we go?
No, just everybody watch for Toronto on Saturday, and then get ready for playoffs, baby, because here we go.
What are you, Paula?
The moment of truth will be in 2 weeks. So I'm excited. I'm excited that we're gonna prove a lot of people wrong, especially the people that works in MLS that said that Orlando City was gonna be 11 plays on the East. I'm so excited to see the boys lift that MLS Cup this year. So I'm excited.
It's exciting times indeed. I will have to say that we're still going to continue providing content for Orlando, even if it's not the season going on anymore. How Orlando ends up, hopefully winning the MLS Cup, I think it'll be amazing. I'll say as a former season ticket holder, as a fan, as a person that just loves the sport, and as a journalist, I will definitely love for Orlando to win the MLS Cup. I think it'd be amazing. Aside of that, we're gonna be having another pod probably down the road in the next couple of days, previewing. I think we said Thursday, right? Right, John? Possibly.
Yeah, potentially on Thursday.
Yeah, we're gonna be working out on a guest. Hopefully, they allow us to have a guest over, but we're gonna try to work out some kinks on a guest. So, but I want to thank everyone for your support. It's very important for us. Drop us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Paola, I know that you want to plug Tiro de Esquina as well. You want to?
Yes, Tiro de Esquina OC. We're going to record our pod this Wednesday, not tomorrow, this Wednesday. So we'll be in our YouTube channel, Tiro de Esquina OC.
And you want to give your social media, John?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter. It's John Rollins OCSC. You'll see all my takes and interesting tidbits on Orlando City as I follow along for this exciting time of playoff action. Let's go.
Well, people, thank you so much for your support. We'll see you in the next few days. And vamos Orlando. Have a good one, guys. Take care.
Vamos, Orlando. Let's go.